What is going on today, guys? Welcome back. We are back in the shop with our man, Silent Mike. Okay, too much on that one? Anyway, we're rolling with it. Anyway, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be, well, I'm not going to be doing, this is all Michael. We're going to be giving out some welding tips and tricks from, I rank him pretty high up. He doesn't rank himself pretty high, but in my opinion, probably your guys' opinion, he's, in my opinion, one of the best fabricator welders that I know. Michael is going to say otherwise, that he's not a welder. What do you say? What do you say? You just enjoy welding? How do you?
I'm not a welder, I enjoy welding.
Oh, you're not a welder. He just enjoys welding. So anyway, we're just going to have some fun today and help you guys out. We have I have been down the beginner road. Michael's been around the block a time or two. No pun intended there. But we have some rather budget welders here. Michael has welded on tons of stuff, tons of machines. So this is really just a laid back, fun way to try and help you guys if you want to start getting into maybe some TIG welding. Obviously, stick welding and the MIG machine will only get you so far. We have been doing a ton of fabricating and welding on the race truck, and it has all been TIG work. So the whole purpose of all of our videos is try to help and educate and get you guys a little bit further in your path. So without further ado, I'm going to do my best to not interrupt Michael. It's going to be hard. I can firmly admit that I definitely tend to do that. So I'm just going to try and steer the conversation so you guys get the most out of it. And we're going to let Michael rattle off drop some bombs on us. So, everybody wants to know about you, Michael. They see you building the baddest things. If you want to give them just a maybe a little background on, who is the man, the myth, the legend? How long have you been welding? What have you welded on? Sorry.
Well, I'm old, I have gray hair. I am, let's see, I'm 37.
Oh, you're going to go right for the age. You're just getting it right out of the way?
Get it out there.
Oh, man.
Let's see, I've been welding since I was 15. Started out like everybody else, maybe some stick and MIG and everything like that. And then thought I was good. And then got schooled by some guys and then learned how to TIG after that. And then got real serious about it probably 6-7 years ago. All diesel truck related, just trying to make stuff and
Go fast.
Yeah, try and be cheap about it, make your own, try and make your stamp in the community,
So no formal training, all pretty much self-taught maybe versus some
self-taught buddies, your real friends that tell you suck, those guys. Let's see.
Some YouTube.
A lot of YouTube lately, in the last probably 3 to 4 years, a lot of YouTube stuff. I think the key is I always thought you had to buy this $8,000 welder to become anything. And I think here recently I've been trying to find, everybody asks, what should I buy? What should I buy? What should I buy? And
probably the number one question.
Yep. What do you get? and I think some of the attachments and some of the filler, the tungsten, the cups, all that, I think that makes just as much of a difference, if not more difference, than the actual machine. But here recently I've been trying to test out some other machines, some lower dollar machines, and not necessarily quality. And this one over here, this is the Prime Weld. It's just your Amazon easy, press buy it now. I think you can get into welding for less than $1,000.
And you've welded on some very high dollar machines.
Yeah, my favorite is the Miller Dynasty 280 series. Those are just really nice machine, water cooled.
Yep.
All that. These are not water cooled. These will try and burn your hand off.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So we have this is Michael's welder that you got for basically home use.
Yep.
And then when we needed a TIG welder for the shop, we wanted to try. At the time, this was HP's latest. They do have a version out now, but again, that machine over there is what, $800 ish,
yep.
roughly. This one, I think I paid about 800. Maybe it's discounted now, but their newest version is 800. So call it $1,000 and down starter setup.
Yep. I think the biggest thing that we wanted to go through was some of these attachments, like these Furic cups, Michael Furic. Like they can step your game up a whole couple notches just by having the right gas coverage on steel stuff. The gas lens here is what's key for steel and stainless steel. So that's what straightens the gas. That's what makes everything look so much prettier. So
for me, when I look at this machine, you're like, wow, look at all those knobs. I don't want to touch that. That looks like we can screw something up very, very easily.
Yeah.
So you're trying to convince me that it's not that intimidating. So beyond all the basic information that we're assuming that you already kind of know a little bit, we want to jump into some of the setup and tips and tricks that will help you guys get better faster. So one of my main things is obviously like, look at all those knobs. So
yeah, I think you kind of need to put your hand over most of them. Like the obvious, like you have to make sure, like you probably need to read through some of it, but we want a TIG. We're going to do DC welding, which is steel, AC welding, which is aluminum. So we'll be DC. And then when you go DC, a lot of this stuff just kind of goes away. And the only other button that I've ever mixed up or had mixed up is make sure this is on your line. So that's just current all the way through, like straight current. Other than that, here's your welding current, and it comes up on the digital gauge there, and
that's pretty much it for steel welding.
Start welding, just get into it, just make a mess, screw up, dip the tip.
It's about the dip the tip, huh? Jeez, getting a little crazy.
Like, look at this.
Same on this one. This one has a little bit less knobs.
Yep. So here's the straight current, DC, we're TIG welding, and then all we need to worry about is our main amps, which comes up on the screen. Like
that's it.
Yeah, that's really it.
So we're not going to get into aluminum and any of that stuff, I think, in this video. Maybe if you guys want, we'll do the Silent Mike aluminum version, but for now we're just trying to do more basics. So beyond that, flip the switch.
Oh well, yeah, you flip the switch, and then you kind of go right into your gas. So I've always used 100% argon. That's just what I use. It's what I prefer.
And again, let's pause here for 1 second because I don't think I said it. There's probably plenty ways to bake a cake, make a pie. Yep. This is what we have been doing, and at the end we'll show the results. Like, we get good results, and some things may change, may be different. You may be more advanced and have certain ways to do it, but we have been able to, or you have been able to achieve really good results with the way we're going to explain it.
And then, so argon, everybody worries about CFH. I honestly, like Michael Furic's cups, have them on the box. Like, he recommends somewhere in between that 20 to 30, I believe, 20 to 25. I run it at 25. That's just kind of the go-to for this cup. A new tungsten that I've just been getting into is this pink. I know one of these isn't pink, but this pink, it's like a multi. You can just do anything you need to weld. So it's just like a...
So is there different tungstens for different things, basically?
Yeah, like usually it's red for steel, green for aluminum. There's some oranges. There's all kinds of different colors out there. I like gray. Gray starts up real easy. But this pink has just been like, I needed a welder for my house, and I didn't want to have every single kind of filler and tungsten at my house or spend all the extra nickels and dimes. And this was just like a one for everything. So that's why I really like that.
Next up is grinding the tungsten, which is this piece right here that goes in the torch.
Yep.
And some things that you have learned along the way, I guess, of how to do that the nicest way possible.
Yep.
It's all in the little things, like, you know, the MIG gun, you know, the squirt gun. I think everyone calls it the squirt gun. You know, you pretty much you flip it on, you turn the bottle on, and you let it rip, tater, chip.
Yep.
This, while in my opinion, you're like, man, is that really going to make a difference? All those steps, I guess it truly does.
This has saved me many times. Like, any kind of contaminants in here is bad. Like, this needs to look like it's brand new every time. I put it in a drill.
I'm sorry, I have another joke.
Oh, jeez.
This is just your dirty girl over here. She don't care. This is a high class right here. Gotta make sure table's set. You know, pull her chair out for her and everything.
So this is under the tips and trick deal. Like, I take sandpaper anywhere from like 180 to 400. It's just whatever I have laying around. I turn this on high speed and I literally clean the entire tungsten. Like, I feel like the gas kind of slides off there a little nicer and a little better, a little easier, and just kind of just like sanding. Like, I didn't need to do it that long because this one's pretty fresh. And then I literally turn the drill on as slow as it goes and just let it kind of grind a nice tip on here.
Probably a little bit hard to tell, but you're moving that side to side, back and forth, really more to preserve the wheel, I guess, rather than just dig into the wheel.
That's just my OCD. Like, people have like big deep grooves in the grinding wheel.
That doesn't fly here.
I just don't like that.
This doesn't fly here. This bench grinder would be out in the trash before it ever.
My weirdness. I think another thing to go over while we're right here is, like, this cup is a 12. I think they measure just a 12 is basically 3/4 of an inch. I believe these measure just over 3/4 of an inch. So there's 800 thousandths between here. That's relative to how far this can stick out.
Oh, you see this cup, but then you have those pink ones that came over there in your generic Amazon small box. It's like, is that really going to make me a better welder off the bat? Should I spend the money on this?
This kit I would definitely recommend because it's a shorty kit. That's something we really didn't go over. These kits come and they get really long. This is what we're talking about.
Oh, we're not talking about this. This is just the holder.
This is just the holder.
See, you're making me look stupid. Put that back. Cut. No, keep going. I'm kidding. I can look stupid all day long.
So this only will allow you to run a full stick of tungsten. I like the shorter ones because, again, we're just always in tight areas, but this is the big difference.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
This is where it's at. The shorty kit is where it's at, and you can get this like for $40 on Amazon when you purchase your prime welder. You know. Mm-hmm. So, and the other cool part about this kit is it comes with these, and these are just the cheapos, but you have the little gas lens that goes in there along with, so there's basically 3 gas lenses in there, and that's what straightens the gas to make such a nice weld. And the clear ones are awesome because, especially when you're learning, you can see through the cup. You don't realize how nice that is. You can actually see right through it instead of the cup being in the way of, and you're trying to hit your head on everything in the way. So
right, gotcha. I think one of the 2 biggest things besides the tungsten that I underestimated or didn't pay enough attention to is, you know, the way the tungsten was ground. That's a big deal that you always yell at me for. And then the second one is the actual importance of the gas coverage on a TIG weld, because when the air kicks on in here and it blows all that away, yeah, you start yelling, and I'm just kidding. He doesn't do that, but it's important to get a good weld. So if you're going to invest some time, some money into things to make you better, you know, number one, I guess, grind your tungsten a little bit nicer and spend that time, and or get a nicer cup. Well, we're going to take a brief pause here because I do know a couple welders, and exactly right there, that thing right there if you have a welder friend, you better make sure that there's energy drinks or candy or some other type of thing that they need, because, you know, if you take away tungsten, you take away your gas. That's not good. But if you take away, a welder's energy drink, I know Cody's going to watch this and he's going to be like, yep, because I know he lives off these things too. So I don't know if it's a welder thing or what, but anyway. So what's next? Are we actually gonna start laying it down? You know, these details are really adding up. You know.
Yeah, dude. It's like painting.
This
like,
TIG,
it's all in the prep work.
Oh right. This TIG welding thing, you know.
So
get the squirt gun out here. We'd have a whole welded truck by the time we're ready to prep it up. So all right, so we've been over machine setup, we've been over some tips and tricks, we've been over tungsten grinding, we've been over everything, and now we're gonna get to a little bit of prep detail.
Yeah. Acetone is your best friend with steel, aluminum, anything. Like a quick squirt, a quick wipe, and then if you get a bunch of burrs from your cloth or your towel or whatever you're using, you can burn them off with a torch real quick. That's the quick, easiest, best way I've found to do that.
So this fancy bottle has acetone in it.
Yep.
Michael approves of these McMaster-Carr squirt bottles.
One thing we didn't go over was like amperage. Like I always try and get my machine exactly what I want it so I can just floor it. Like it's easier just to wide open the foot pedal and come off a little bit, or maybe sometimes I'll go a little over if you're, you know, just be comfortable.
So you have basically through your years, you have a rough idea of how thick this is, what you're gonna want max amperage, and instead of, I guess that's where I kind of misinterpreted a TIG foot pedal, is you're full throttled most of the time. If it's getting too hot, you can come off of it,
yep.
But it's not like that is set on max and you're trying to keep a steady position the whole time. You're really mostly figuring out what that's gonna take.
Right. Yeah, like you have this threshold, and if you're welding something that
slap that pedal up on the table so they can see.
If you need,
we don't have a fancy wireless pedal.
If you need to weld with 100 amps and you set the machine to 200, you're basically going to work with half of it. So you have to work here. But if you set the machine at 100 amps, you can use the whole pedal for 100 amps. So it'll only help you if you set the machine close to where you need to be.
You can be more consistent.
The rule of thumb is however thick the material is per thousandths, that's how many amps you use. Like if this is 100 thousandths, we'll put it on 100 amps. You can take it up or down depending on how comfortable you feel. The biggest thing is just get in there, start doing it. Like you
ain't nothing to it but to do it.
That's right. Everybody dips the tip. Like it's just gonna happen. Get like 4, 5, 10, whatever tungstens, grind them all up at once and just get it. So right now I'm like wide open on the foot pedal, and I'm just trying to make a rhythm, like a consistent, try and keep my tungsten as close to the piece as possible. And then once I get near the end, I kind of come off the pedal a little bit. And then another key thing is trying to keep the post flow going. If you don't have a fancy welder that you can adjust post flow, you can just hit the pedal again and it'll go right back into it. That's another little tip.
I think one of the things too, that when I first started hanging around you, you're like, you always make it a point to, hey, your weld is done, don't pull the torch away. Like if you guys heard, the gas was flowing for what, 10 seconds or whatever it was afterwards. That to me didn't seem very important. It's like, okay, it's good, done. Yep. But it is.
Post flow is very important. The cooling off with gas in surrounding the weld is what makes a solid, good penetrating weld.
The lens does not pick it up superbly well. You know, we're not working with a extremely high dollar camera, but my goodness. Very nice. So what welder was that? Was that with the...
That was the prime weld.
That was the prime?
Yep. You can see where the heat started getting hotter towards the end, like the heat lines are wider there. So that's when you start coming off the pedal towards the end. You know, don't be afraid to use the pedal as you're welding.
Is there a direction that is preferred or correct?
I always push. So the angle of the torch is important. I always go, like I have an angle here and I push this way. I am left-handed though. So for you righties out there, I would...
You mean normal people? I mean, what?
For you special right-handed people, go this way. I always push.
I think some of the shaking is probably more me holding the camera than your hands.
Yeah, when you're welding, try and be comfortable. The more you can get your palms down on the ground, or anytime that you can shorten the distance up from your piece to your hands, it should be more stable. You know, when I weld on under trucks, like on racks, sometimes I'll get one of those pole jacks or get a piece of wood, stand on something, like anything you can do to just be comfortable, not shaky. Like we all shake, just...
Are you ready to let me get in there? And
Oh yeah.
so, Greg has never TIG welded. I think this is literally my first time. Maybe one time.
It's your second.
Second?
Yeah.
Like maybe second pass, not second practice session. Like I did one pass, was like, okay, cool. This looks fun, but I suck. So, all right. So I got this slung over my shoulder. You know what I mean? It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So am I holding this right?
You look like you know what you're doing.
I do? Mm-hmm. I definitely don't. This is gonna prove it right now. So this way, right?
Yep. And then
basically try and match the angle to right here?
Yeah, but so your tungsten angle is way off. So you want to get it more close to vertical as possible. Yep.
See, and this is what we're talking about. Like, because if you go like this, you can't really see, but if you had the clear cup, you might be able to see a little bit better, correct?
Yep. And your fingers are on the cup. That's gonna get really hot eventually.
Okay, so how am I supposed to hold this?
Hold it back.
Oop, I just dipped the tip, it wasn't even on.
Hold it back here.
Oh, back here?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you look professional.
All right, so don't squeeze too hard, right?
Right.
So like this.
Relax. Take a deep breath.
I'm all right. I need a monster. So go like this.
Yep.
But we're dabbing. So this doesn't dab. This just dabs, right?
Yep.
These are dumb questions, but this is not.
And you want to be more like this. Yep.
So like this.
Oh yeah.
I'm already shaking. All right. Okay, here we go. So full throttle?
Yes.
I'm not dipping, I don't think. I really didn't dip that much material. That's not terrible.
Man,
there's no.
It's kind of good.
There's no dabs though. Like I'm really not dabbing this. Like how do you know when to dab?
When you see the puddle
On the dance floor? Or?
So look at your filler rod. Look at your filler.
Yeah.
See how it's got a ball on it?
Yeah.
It's because the angle of your tungsten is too extreme. You're actually burning the filler before it gets to the puddle. So you need to be more vertical.
That's hot.
Keep that down on there. There you go. It's most important when it's glowing to keep the gas coverage on it. But once it's not glowing, it's not as critical.
Yeah, I was throwing some heat in there.
Oh yeah. Man, that looks great.
All right, I'm doing a full rip on the next one.
Professional.
I don't.
It's beautiful.
You know, I think one of the biggest things that Greg without a hat. I think we might have to retake this, but I think for me and the way my hands move is the getting comfortable. Anytime that I have ever MIG'd, TIG'd, or sticked, like I am, like some people call it cheating, like when you're resting or when you're this or two hands or whatever, but that's the only way I can kind of guide myself to be consistent is to have that. And I know sometimes like when you're under the truck, you don't have any of that. Like you almost have to like keep your body core strength tight, but I mean, I guess.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I didn't call you in shape or, you know, I didn't call you a GQ model, all right? I'm just saying, like, you got to try your best.
It's beautiful.
I don't want you to take this as in, I'm good at this, okay? Mm-hmm. See, the problem with this video is I have now proven myself dangerous enough to be like, well, why don't you go tack it on the truck?
Great idea.
You see, this is no, you know? My goodness, we've entered a whole new level of all right, I want to do a couple more. I'm going to weld up this whole box.
Okay. So another thing that you need to work on is you're here like this.
Yeah.
And then to move the weld, to move the weld, you need to do this. So what you do is you do this, and then you're like, oh shit. So you do this, and then while you're doing that, you're also doing this. That's over exaggerated. You know what I mean? Like you're just doing this, and you're about here. But see how wide your puddle is?
Yeah, I did notice that.
Because you're so far away. So the further away you are, the wider it's going to be.
Oh, I'm not staying consistent distance-wise, you're saying?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Well, that was better.
So remember we talked about heat lines?
Yeah.
So see my heat line?
Yep.
And then see your heat lines?
Okay.
See how wide they are? Like the blue is actually over here.
Okay.
And see where it's...
So am I staying too long?
Yep.
Okay.
Heat is referenced in time. Like...
Right. How long you stay on it?
Yep.
See, I always feel like I never know how quick is too quick kind of thing. I think, is it me or is that... See, like right here, I can tell... Like in MIG or TIG, you want to make sure you're staying long enough.
Yep.
And I guess like this has such high heat penetration that you can do it quicker, I guess. Is that right or wrong, or?
Yeah, you can do it quicker.
Okay.
But look at your heat. Look at your heat line.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Is that good or not good? That's still too much.
Way better. It's way better. Yeah. It's still a little much.
Okay.
Another thing.
So I could go quicker.
Towards the end, yes. You were quick here, and then you slowed down.
Okay.
Another thing is like, so you're here, you're doing great, you're doing great, and then like once you kind of get here, like you can kind of like.
I do that.
No, you go. You actually go like this. Like you're actually kind of one of these. But if you kind of bring it back over, now because your gas is now getting off of the part.
Oh.
So if you kind of swing it back over this way to finish up the weld and then bring your foot halfway off, kind of do one of those numbers.
Oh, this is hot. I feel like for you to be a good TIG welder, you have to care about every single second that you're under the mask. And like, I'm not saying you can get lazier with a MIG, but can you? Yeah. Because I'm just like one little variation and it's completely different. You're like, oh man, like my hand, is it just getting real hot?
Yeah, you're gonna cook it. Like this gray kind of like, you know, like see right here where it's like kind of spidering looking.
Yeah.
And it's kind of gray, like it's all overcooked. It's all really hot.
Well, that was a lot, but hopefully you guys learned a lot.
Hopefully.
I'm now a professional welder. You're gonna throw that out there?
Turn the machine on, keep everything clean. Just get in there and get after it.
Just get in there and do it, guys. I mean, if I can do it, you can do it.
That's
and whoa, easy. Listen, I can say that, okay? Goodness. Woo, it's getting hot in here, and I'm not talking about the metal. Shoo. All right, guys, hopefully that helped out. We're not gonna drag it out any longer. Make sure you guys hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you wanna see an aluminum version of this man's, let us know. Probably not anytime soon, but maybe next time we're doing aluminum. Who knows? Maybe it'll be on like engine stuff or stuff like that. We'll just throw it in. Maybe do it that way. That way we're actually making a truck part.
Turbo kit stuff.
Turbo skis. But anyway, that's gonna do it. I will see you guys in the next video soon. See ya. Bye.